should me and Kirby Surrender should book a room. Or not, they drive down on the Saturday. Stay till the Sunday. It's a bit far to come, ain't it?
Surrender's the little one, isn't he?
Yeah, Surrender's the
little one with the turban, black turban, he was, didn't he?
Yeah,
I know, maybe you were staying in my B&B up the back.
Yeah. Yeah, nice lad, Surrender. I didn't really like the lad that was speaking to over there. Oh, that was lad. My dad come and see me. He said, I'm knowing then. I'm looking to see if I can borrow a queue and get a little box before I can. See if I can have a personal free.
Ain't got time. This ain't got a stupid one.
Is Ian Davenport in the room? Ian Davenport.
Here you are. It's Chris Mellon in the room. Come on, Alex Rickens. Who's going to put £100 in with?
Oh, should have gone beep 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 beep. Oh, does that one be for the final or? Does that one be for the final? Does next one be for the final? It will be, yeah.
You go down to the Arfan.
I'm bad.
Oh, you're another one back?
Yeah, me.
Hey, I seen you there, Gary Francis, didn't I? And you were sitting speaking to them all like you were.
Oh, they're alright. They're okay. Tom was alright.
Oh, you got banned as well then, Bob?
Yeah, me and the Shirley and Mike. Yeah, well, we don't really care that much.
Nah, I was speaking to a boss. It's a woman, is it a woman rep? And they've not really done a lot for her, have they?
Next match on table one is the final of the main event. WRPT Tour 4 main event. Race to 8. Finalists Arfan Dad and Josh Kane. Arfan Dad, Josh Kane.
Well, yeah, well.
Table 1.
They're not on the EPA Tours rep.
doing this with his fucking gloves. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's better that way.
Good evening and welcome back to the action. This is the reason that all of these players have come here over this weekend. You can say that there is another event in play, but it's the main event that everyone's after. There's a £5,000 prize to the winner of this, and you have to say 2 players. I mean, probably come with slightly different aspects. Arfan has been in a rich vein of form for quite a while. It's probably been knocking on the door for the last 3 or 4 months. Josh maybe not so much, but this weekend he's really turned it on. So this should be a real thriller. And again, joined on commentary by Scott Yardy. Scott, what's your first thoughts on this one?
Yeah, well, thanks for inviting me along to the final, Nick. Much appreciated. I've just got a sneaky feeling for Arfan in the final. Although Josh, played really well for a large part of the match against Scott in the semis, there was a little bit towards the end where he kind of started slipping up a little bit, and at this level you can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
However, he's got a great chance here to take the first frame with the Reds.
The thing for me, and it is finely balanced. I mean, I was looking at this. I remember when I was in London and Jack Whelan was playing Clint and before that game started, I looked at it and I thought, I'm all over Jack on this. I just cannot see him losing the way he's been playing. He's blown everyone away. And my first instinct for this was the same for Josh. I was thinking, I don't think he can lose this one. But then I think about it, and actually Arfan has just been so consistent. He's played so much pool over the last couple of years. It's a hard one to call.
Yeah.
It really is a hard one to call.
And to be fair, I mean, the position shot that Josh played a minute ago, when he potted the red in the bottom left-hand corner, come off the 2 cushions, he's finished absolutely perfect on these reds.
If Josh plays the way he played yesterday against Tom Cousins, or when he was at his best against Scott Gillespie when he was in full flow,
Yep.
I think it's going to be very, very difficult for Arfan. I just wonder whether Arfan's break's going to be big enough, because he was struggling a little bit with it earlier on just to find that timing.
Which is strange, because Arfan's break's one of the best we've ever seen.
It is.
Over the years. And, I remember a few years back watching Arfan break off and just dreaming of having a break like that. So for you to say that.
Yeah, just a touch when we saw him on stream earlier. He was getting a little frustrated during the match, and admitted it on the interview afterwards. But actually, as I say, it's I mean, you've picked Arfan. Just to be contrary, I'll pick Josh. But I must admit, I'd be happy with either as a winner. They're both very deserved and both really nice chaps as well.
Absolutely. Surprised he missed there, to be fair, on the black.
Very much so, yeah. Didn't expect that.
No, I wasn't expecting that at all. Yes, he was playing it into a blind pocket, but I really fancied him to get this, and this is just a case of just Arfan just landing as close as he can to the yellow on the left-hand rail into the top corner, and I think the yellow that's on the balk line will be his last yellow for the black.
Do you know, I interviewed Arfan earlier and we talked about the fact that he'd been quite prolific through lockdown, playing these the games against the Australians and
sorry, Nick, just to interrupt very quickly, just to say he's finished a little bit short there.
Yeah,
I think he'd like to be a lot straight with that. Sorry, carry on. Yeah,
but he was saying that he really thinks that that's benefited his game. He's really thinks his game's come on leaps and bounds through that period, and it really has been showing in his consistency. And the the point I was making is when it comes to these clearances, because he's playing these games where
It's all about clearances, isn't it?
the
Those
only
lockdown
way
games.
he can win a point is to clear the table.
Yeah.
There's no tactics. There's no. There's nothing else about the game. There's nothing about covering a pocket. It's just about developing balls and breaking and clearing. And I think it's good. It's turned him into a new player, because when he comes to a table like this, it's automatic for him. He's looking at the table thinking, "Hang on, I've done this 100 times in the last week."
Just on this shot here, are you favouring that he's going to try and land on the yellow, or is he going to try and bump it? Because he's got natural angle to bump it, but if he checks it with left hand side, he can come, towards the middle and play it down the rail next.
Personally, I think he should land on it.
I do as well, but he's really betwixt and between here. I think he's so tempted to go into it, but he also knows it could be the wrong shot, because if he catches it full ball and it sort of goes down towards the bottom end of the table, then that pocket's covered by the black by the looks of it. So
I've always been an advocate for it, and I know that Mick Hill is a huge advocate for it.
No, he's trying to break it. That's okay. It's okay. It's not fantastic, but he's got a shot on it at least.
I do not like moving balls unless you absolutely have to.
Or if you've got a ball to land on afterwards.
Yeah, I think more can go wrong, and it's come out and it's absolutely fine. It didn't have that much danger attached to it, but I just think it was one of those that he's good enough to land on it. The table's playing fairly generously up the rail, so
I think we saw that there as well. That was a little bit wide, but the pocket was very forgiving in taking it, and Arfan takes a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, indeed. Wins the first frame.
Referee for the final as well. Good to see.
So as always, please do like and share the stream. Let's get this one out there. It's late on a Saturday night. People will be returning from evenings out. Maybe you've been out for a meal yourself, or to the pub, or visiting, or just having an evening in and enjoying the pool. Well, please do help us spread the word on social media. I'm sure there's many people who would love to watch this. It's a great final between two great competitors.
So, sorry, Nick, just touching on what you said a moment ago. Before Arfan breaks off, what was he saying about the break? The ball's just not exploding for him, or just can he not find the right cue ball, or?
I'm not sure whether he just didn't seem to be timing it quite right. As I say, it just wasn't coming out for him. I think the ninth frame, he was cruising, and then the break just started going wrong. I think he dumped one in the middle pocket, and then the next one he went dry, and he was just frustrated by the whole thing, I think.
Okay, well, we'll see how that's changed for him in the final.
Oh, how well's he timed that?
Yeah, that was a lot nicer. Clusters here and there, but the yellows look okay. It's just those. I'm pretty sure he can get to the yellow that's on the bottom right hand corner, past the red. It's going to be those two yellows that are close together on the left hand side of the table that the issue here, I believe. So he's nominated yellow. He's going to get his trickiest one out of the way first on the top rail.
Yeah, just
containing, really, I suppose.
Yeah, containing.
Probably because of those two yellows that are.
I think so. Together. Yeah. I mean, he's already in control with. He's got the bottom right pocket. Just making sure he's got that top right pocket, and now he's got the time to focus on getting those two balls into play.
So something that Josh looked at straight away there. I'm not sure if he's going to. Yeah. So the thing he looked at a moment ago was. The red that's in bulk at the moment was to play off of the yellow that's on the side cushion.
Mm-hmm.
In an ideal world, he comes off that thick and takes it off of the other yellow and that'll open the pocket up for the black as well. I mean, I know it's quite a progressive shot, but it's definitely available. And he can more or less put the cue ball where he wants as well on the red on the left-hand side.
It's actually a bit of a treat for us as well to be able to show you the final on Saturday evening. We've always run out of time in the last few events, and it's been deferred until the Sunday morning.
So this is the key shot here, Nick, because if he just plays it off of the yellow and it flies in, it's not going to open the pocket up. If he takes it off the second yellow, well, that's a brilliant shot. So he's played the shot that I've said now. The only problem he's got now is that he's got the red next to the yellow. However, if he can somehow pot the red that's on the bottom cushion onto the red that's over the pocket, and then later on he can play that as a back double.
Oh dear.
He was walking there before he'd gone in.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
yeah. I mean, already two balls missed, and he hasn't been missing. And
No.
he won't want his form to dry up now. He was a little frustrated actually. He wanted to get on pretty much after the semi-final, but Arfan was 2 matches behind in his Jason Owens, so he needed to go across and play that. And I just wonder that, Arfan's gone and played another match. He's still flowing
in flow,
and
yeah.
Josh is at an hour away from the table.
Absolutely.
To reflect. Can that have a difference?
I believe it can. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, sometimes it's nice to have a break. You go back to your room and have a little chill. But as far as I'm aware, Josh just hung around in the arena just watching Arfan's game, and maybe he should have got away from the arena a little bit, and just if he like you said, if he was frustrated, then maybe he should have just walked away for a bit. But everyone's different, aren't they?
Nice little shot there from Arfan, just pushing that yellow past the black, so developing one ball, knowing that he's still in control.
I think Josh may consider just playing the red onto one of the yellows and just pushing one of the yellows safe onto the bottom rail, because he's still got the problem of that red over by the yellow on the top pocket as we're looking. Or he's going maybe try and get it out here. I think he looks at that. Come off the back rail maybe and bump the red out into play.
Yeah.
Because Arfan's still got those 2 yellows that are tricky. I mean, I think we could see that they both go to the middle past the red, but getting onto them is going to be the issue.
So what's he seen here?
Do you know what I think he might have seen? I don't think he's seen this, but how it's panned out now, he could play the cross double on the red into the middle, drift the white down onto the bottom rail, and then he can play the back double plant.
Yeah. Is there enough room there to play that?
Yeah,
That double, do you think?
Well,
Can you see the overhead just to see if there's a...
He's just alluded to it with his finger there. I think he's definitely... Yeah, I think we can see it's
tight, isn't it?
Very tight.
It is tight. I think.
Is he looking at trying to rattle the yellow and send it across the table?
Yeah, I think that's what he's looking at, but is to squeeze it cushion first, but I'm not sure it's on.
That's such vision if that shot comes off, isn't it? Certainly a shot I've never seen before. No, I didn't.
For me, they just look too close. They look too close to each other for it to be on. But
yeah.
I mean, it could just be one of those. He had to try something.
Just looking now, maybe Arfan's forced to try and pop one of these yellows into the middle now, because yes, he's not ideally on them, but is he going to get back on them in a situation where he can play them again?
And if he gets it, it's frame ball.
Yeah. The only thing is, okay, so maybe he's going to try and come back to that.
Come back, yeah. I mean, the yellow that's closest to the bulk line, he could.
Not the greatest flick, but he's okay. He's still got. Whether he can get through to that one behind the black or not, he's just having a quick look now. But
I was in the process of saying the one that's closest to the bulk line, he could use that to try and screw the cue ball down that side of the table for those 2 yellows. But
I think he's too thin on that. Isn't he?
Yeah, I'm not even.
I think
sure
I think he might just hide behind the black here.
Yeah, I think that's the right shot.
Unless he can pot it. No, he can pot it.
No, he
That's
can
fine.
pot it. So now he's got the angle.
Yes, he's got the perfect angle now,
Yeah.
and he's got quite a big area to land in as well. Has to be cued quite nicely. One of them shots, if you quit on this, then you can just end up in no man's land.
As you say, a decent margin of error, though. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, he's fine. If we're overcritical, he's gone a little bit too far, but he's absolutely fine because he can still pop this and drift past that yellow for the other yellow into the middle. Quite jealous that he's sporting the Daddy nickname on the back of his shirt. That's a great nickname, isn't it? So this is... You might have to jack the cue up here and screw this yellow back into the right middle for the right corner next. It's not a nice angle, though. That's the only thing. He's heading back towards a red, isn't he?
He's between both, and I'm just wondering... as soon as I saw it, my instinct was that he'll play the corner first. I think if he plays the corner first, he can kind of a soft screw shot, but neither's nice. Yeah, he's going to play the corner first. He can. Looks like he's playing it with top.
I like your shot as well. So if he can just sort of screw up to sort of maybe the bulk, just below the bulk line, then he have a shot to get back on the back. Oh, he's cutting it back in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Far too big for us to criticise, but that was so thin, wasn't it, to control?
Yeah, it really was.
This is a struggle now, Nick. I mean, he's probably going to have to pot this in the bottom right, and I don't know. Is he going to have to send the white round off sort of 2 or 3 cushions to get back for the black?
Well, even if he can pot it and grip it, the red on the side cushions in the way. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
I don't think he can grip it that much. I think
no, I
think it's near enough. He's probably going to have to just sort of take his medicine and just try and get somewhere on the right hand side of the table.
To side. So you're going to see the cue ball dance here.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Josh is going to just play the plant now, and then once he's left the red over the pocket, he'll just drift the white up towards the closest he can to that red on the left-hand side into the top corner.
Already a couple of missed pots from Josh Kane, but looks like he might have gotten away with this one.
Yeah. Slightly funny angle on this. In other words,
I was just thinking the same.
It's one of those that he probably, if he tops it through, he'd probably be okay. He can probably still play the black into the top right. Yeah, he's played that really nicely.
Good hold. Just 2 frames played, but already a very, very intriguing final. You can see everyone vying for a vantage point in behind, watching this super match. As I say, there's nothing. Josh has missed a couple of balls. Arfan, well, that frame was always going to be a bit of a struggle, and he had half a chance, but it's Josh Kane who won it. It's one frame each, and as I say, there's nothing that I've seen so far that would make me now think Josh is a big favourite or Arfan's a big favourite. I still think this one's very, very much in the balance. It's there for the taking.
Yeah, and it has a feel of being like a really big game for both players as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the greatest respect is that perhaps before this weekend, neither player may have thought they would get to the final. So now they're here. It's a big game for both of them. So
I think this is huge, and I think it's huge for a couple of reasons. I think for Arfan, he's been the nearly man recently.
Yeah.
He made 2 finals on the IPA. He's had some really deep runs, but he's not managed to get across the line. And for Josh, it's been
comeback kid, I think maybe.
Yeah, it's been it's been a good couple of years since he's won a big event, and he wants to get back in that winning way.
Of course.
And it's almost like a monkey on the back at the moment.
Yeah.
He needs to get it off of his back.
And he's definitely applied himself this weekend as well. I mentioned earlier that he's not been drinking. I think he's admitted himself that sometimes that's his downfall, that he has a few beers and whatever, enjoys himself, and he's really focused this weekend. And okay, so Josh has nominated yellows. I think we can see what the key yellow here is. It's going to be the one that's next to the red on the left hand side of the table, but he has got a few balls down that end of the table to bring that into play, and he looks like he can take it out on this very next shot. So he'll pop the yellow into the top right. Yeah. Almost impossible not to land nice, isn't it?
Yeah, he's looking there. Just you saw him target with the cue
to find the split between the two of them.
Split between the two. Yep. You push the red down the table. The yellow stays pretty much where it is.
Even if he catches yellow full ball, he's still going to be on the other end anyway. So it's almost like a no-brainer. He's going to be on something, which he has. You probably look at clearing that top left-hand corner now, so that frees the pocket up for the yellow he's just brought out.
I think it comes down the...
Depends if that black does black go past the red.
I was just about to say, if the black goes bottom left, I think you take the 2 balls at the bottom of the table now.
And then work your way back up, yes.
And then work back up to take the black in the left corner. But if it doesn't, he needs to leave these 2 at the bottom of the table to last and play the black in the middle.
We can see it clearly that it does not pass that red in that corner as well. So
you're right, I think he's going to clear the top of the table now.
And then the black in the left middle. I'd have thought. Yep, it's got to be, isn't it? Definitely doesn't pass that red in the corner.
No.
Being ultra critical, but he's just 2 rolls short of where he wanted to be.
Yeah. This
is the anguish because he knows if he just come out a little bit further, it's quite straightforward. This, but
it's between both, isn't he? If it's 2 rolls less, he's got the yellow on the bulk line.
And he's probably got to load this up with lots of left-hand side as well to flick this in and kill the white ball down that end of the table as well.
Yeah.
Being left-handed though, left-hand side, believe it or not, is actually a more favourable shot.
It's missed.
And he's
and
he's
lost
his cue ball. Wow. We were talking earlier, weren't we, about wasting a shot. Now, possibly you could waste a shot here. However, I think the world rules way of taking this clearance out is for Arfan to pot the red into the top right hand corner, and then he'll double back the red. It's almost like a free shot at the double, the second shot. But being predominantly a black ball player, he may well place the white on the left and play the red onto the red.
I think he's going to play the double. I think he's going to
double this out into play. But
I think he's going to double it into the other red.
But do you see the shot that I said, though?
I do.
If you just drop the red in and then play the double, you've got a free shot to keep the 2.
He's going to play it into the other red in bulk. There you go.
Yep. I like that shot as well, but there's 2 ways of doing that, isn't there?
Absolutely,
you can play it the other way where you kept the 2.
And as you mentioned, there's so many World Rules players who wouldn't have played that shot. They would have possibly played the one over the middle and then carried the 2 shots.
Yep. And there's nothing wrong with the shot that he's played either.
No.
Not whatsoever, but
I prefer it, actually. I prefer it. It just I think it focuses you. Sometimes having that extra visit, It's okay carrying it, but this he knows he's got one shot. They're all on. Just back yourself to get them.
Yep, absolutely. I think he'd be quite keen to possibly get rid of this red next to the black. Yeah, I was going to say, because that's the... Well, you can't play it now, obviously, because there's yellow there, but ideally,
you're right.
Don't do that till last, because of the position of it's got to be so precise.
Yeah.
So maybe he drops this in the middle and then plays that one next. We'll see now.
It's still not straightforward. The red that's on the bulk line.
I think you can screw back past the black here. Yeah, this is the ball to get out of the way, and this opens it all up now.
For sure.
Yeah, cue that nicely.
Yeah, he's fine now, so he can play the one to middle and
just drift down to the top cushion somewhere.
Yep.
Well, not on
and
the
then
top cushion.
The one in the bulk line, play to middle.
Yeah.
Potentially. Again, I can't see from here. I don't know if the red on the bulk line passes to right corner. I'm assuming it doesn't.
That's absolutely perfect where he's landed there. So many players would have played that off the cushion as well, and he's played it as a stun shot. Really nicely controlled.
Yeah, brilliant. So, mistakes from Josh in all three frames now.
Yeah. However, he could have won all three as well.
Could have won all three, yeah.
Yeah. So Arfan takes a 2-1 lead.
See David McMara just over Arfan Dad's shoulder there, watching on. You can see there also on the left of the screen, Chris Melling. He's good friends with Arfan, so he's watching on with interest.
I see Bob up there as well with Sandra.
Yeah, Bob's there, yeah.
Shane Thompson in the background. I think Josh might have left the arena for a second.
Yeah, Josh has just stepped away for a bathroom break. So we'll just take a breather for a moment and be right back with the action. Also, just on the left-hand side of the screen, Gareth Hibbett and Viv Rusco watching on with interest. Nice to see they've stayed over the weekend. Obviously, Viv, I believe, still invested in the ladies' event. Not sure how she's got on today. We saw her on the stream playing Emma Cunningham earlier today. That was a good game. It was good actually because Viv said she'd never played on stream before, and she came up to me afterwards and said, "Thanks for putting me on. I really enjoyed that. I didn't think I would. I thought I was," and I do remember trying to coerce her into playing on stream once before, and she really didn't want to do it. But we threw her in at the deep end today. She didn't have much of a choice. It was one of those kind of last minute, right, Viv, you're on. And she was like, oh, okay then. And she said, I absolutely loved it. She said she would encourage anybody who gets a chance to play on stream. It's just such a good experience. So that was really good feedback. So, yellow balls in play.
Probably not the worst shot in the world to go for the double now, on the yellow. Yes, it cuts into the middle quite comfortably, but there's a bit of traffic. And if he just plays a double now, he can actually just stun the white and kill it there.
So am I right in thinking that 2 dry breaks for Arfan so far? Trying to keep a mental, keep a mental note of it.
Well, I've called a shot. Woohoo! The reason I say that is because he can now play the yellow into the bottom left. I'm not sure if he's got the angle to stun over slightly for the yellow that's slightly awkward next to the 2 reds, but I think he's finished almost dead straight, hasn't he, by the looks of it?
Yeah.
You may be able to manufacture a slight angle, but you don't want to start trying to pinch pockets when you can maybe use one of the other yellows to land on that one. The issue for me here is the black. So, the 8 ball. So the 8 ball, yes, it goes into the bottom right, but that's not. I don't think that'll be used. But at the moment, it's probably only the left middle, isn't it? Where the 8 ball goes.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't decide to try and pinch the pocket, which was a good choice. So he played the yellow on the bottom yellow as we're looking now. He can probably just drift up and just nudge the red, perhaps, to leave himself on that yellow down the bottom.
Could play either, actually. I mean, that's the one he's going to play, but I think the other one he could just screw straight back as well. That's another really surprising miss. And for me, that was just about concentration.
Yes, and sometimes you tend to concentrate more on the cannon because you've given yourself the pot.
Yeah.
And that's when you miss the pot. And
took the pot for granted.
Yeah. Now, the only thing here is that it's a slight acute angle on this red, and I think he needs to nudge the other red out as well, so he probably needs to play with a little bit of pace to try and bring the red into play. So we'll just see if he can just pop the red out a nudge. I think it's gone back to where it was.
Yeah.
If I'm being mistaken.
He's having a look from one end and now going round the other, and I think he's not going to like what he sees from either side because that ball does not pass.
Doesn't have to go for these. He can just hide after he pots this red if he wishes. But I don't think he will the attacking style that Arfan plays.
Well, you've got to say, Josh, for somebody who's literally he made no mistakes against Tom yesterday. 4 frames in and had a really good opportunity in all 4.
Good chance for Arfan now. Pot this red into the right middle. Screw off the top cushion. Cushion first, yellow. Push the red up the rail.
Oh.
Where's the yellow going? Wow. Well, this is all eggs in one basket, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. You probably, if he didn't like the red up the rail to the top left, he can play the other red into the top right. Probably one of the hardest shots you play on a pool table across the. Well, I say the nap. There's no nap on these fast cloths, but you know what I'm saying. It's like
they are tough.
They are horrible shots.
Yeah. Just picking the angle is difficult, and so much can go wrong.
I think I'd prefer that shot just because you've got the pocket in your eye line, whereas this one up the left.
This is a tough shot. Even because it, as you say, it's into a blind pocket. So picking the right angle, he's changed his mind. He's going to go for the other one.
You've got to commit to one or the other, and so take some good cueing to pot this.
And off the rail as well.
That's excellent.
Lovely.
So now it just comes down to the position he gets on the left-hand red.
And it looks like a simple pot.
No.
If a layman's watching this, he's going to say, "Well, that looks easy enough," but
No.
really not.
I challenge most players to put that down the local club, play it 10 times. If you get 5 out of 10, you've done very well.
Yeah.
That situation. That's not the best shot he's ever played. I think he's finished pretty straight on this red, and he wanted to some kind of an angle, because even if he was either side of it, he could have got nearer to this red.
He is straight.
Maybe he could just punch a little bit of this. That's okay. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, with the chance that Josh had here, I had this one chalked up at 2 apiece, but another unforced error, and it looks like it's going to be Arfan Dad. Just
Wow, there we go.
honestly, I was literally just about to say, I just do not see him missing this. I honestly did not see him missing that.
No, I think he slightly cued across that. I don't want to do Arfan a disservice, but it did feel like he cued across that slightly.
The way he plays with his cue action, shots like that are very much within him. I mean, I just expect him to get things like that. I take him for granted.
Yeah.
They're both making uncharacteristic errors, and I think it comes back to how important this match is for both of them.
Yeah.
I really do. I think they're both feeling it. It's a big game.
And I also think that because Arfan has seen that Josh has possibly not started the final that greatly, and he's in his mind he's thinking this is a great chance for me to go 3-1 up and really stamp my authority. That maybe he's just taking his concentration level off on that red. Oh. Wow, what is going on here?
I don't know what to say.
I'm getting my cue out, Nick. I'm going back out there.
I genuinely don't know what to say.
Has he covered this?
I think he has, but I still don't know what to say. He can't believe it. He just needs to reset. He needs to reset and refocus, because these are just...
Thing is here, okay, so he can bend this because he's not. Yes, he's snookered on it, but he can sort of curl around the black. But it's one of those.
The cue ball normally stays down there,
exactly.
doesn't it?
I was about to say,
can even follow it in.
Don't want to follow it in. That's the only thing. But he wants to sort of try and swerve it in and cut it in thin.
Very nice. Well,
considering it's not great, but it's not terrible.
It could have been worse. I think.
This is a bit smelly because the cue ball's tracking towards the top left as well on this, and he can't do a great deal because of the white being close to the cushion. Yeah, I'm not. I think that's why he's looking towards the top left, because it's such a natural for the in-off, I think. Maybe you just got to back yourself to pot it, and if you're going off, you're going off. So what? Just concentrate on the pot. Yeah.
Goodness me.
I think that was in his mind. That's why he's missed it thick.
It was
possibly.
Tough. It was really tough. I mean, these look a formality, but they looked a formality last time. I don't even know what to call anymore, because
I don't want to say this, but sometimes these pop out of the middle as well when you're playing them at pace, and no, he's fine.
The thing is, psychologically, Arfan sat there and he's seen probably the worst that Josh has played all weekend. And from Josh's perspective, he's looking at it thinking, how am I 2 each?
Yeah.
How am I 2 each? And it's worrying in some ways for Arfan, because if Josh does suddenly hit a stride, then he's going to be away. And
I mean, sometimes you do like a snooker analogy. Sometimes when they go off the interval, don't they? And they say how chuffed they are that they find themselves at 2-2.
Yeah.
So if they were going to the interval now, Josh would be the one walking off thinking, that's great. Whereas Arfan would be thinking, why am I 2-2?
The bizarre thing about it, if Arfan can find that frame somehow, Josh is sat in the corner fuming over 2 missed pots.
Absolutely.
3 missed pots in that frame alone. And he's sitting there stewing, thinking, what on earth am I doing?
Yep.
But actually, I mean, I can't say that Arfan let him off the hook, because Arfan just had an absolute stinker there. It was horrible. it was a horrible black and a low percentage shot, but he's going to be sat in the corner thinking, Josh is like, wow, I'm 2 each, happy days, and I'm playing badly, and Arfan's now the one that's going to be steaming.
I do get the impression,
almost thinking, how's he got away with that?
Absolutely, but I also get the impression now that sort of frame can sharpen both players up and make them go, hang on a second, we're in the final of the World Rules Pool Tour here, what are we doing? I actually think they'll both start buzzing now from that frame, because that's not how they played to get here. They wouldn't be in the final if they played that way all the way through, would they? So I think that will sharpen the mind. I think Josh Kane's got a great chance here on reds. I think he can play this red into the right middle, drift the white up the table, and then play the red down the rail next, and the reds go.
I think,
So he's gone yellows, of course.
Yeah, but I think it's a dot-to-dot finish on yellows, because he's got this one to left middle. He's then got the gap and for the one to bottom left.
I'm trying to find the excuse why I chose reds then, but I'm struggling. It's probably why I'm sat here with you commentating on the final one. Why I chose the reds, but anyway. Can we?
Oh, look, we've all done it.
It's live. We can't even edit it out, can we?
I mean,
never mind. It's all good.
It's not like anyone's listening, so it's fine.
No, exactly. Anyway, back to the action. So yeah, definitely yellows.
And suddenly, all of those silly misses, unforced errors.
Yep, it's all forgotten.
All gone.
Probably just play this with maybe a little tracer right hand side and just play the black in the middle. Yeah, just to hold the cue ball. I still would have gone for reds just for entertainment value, but there we go. Yep, 3-2 Josh.
A very nice way to put all of that silliness behind you. And, well, after all of that, actually, it's just basically still on serve. I think both players just need to reset and say, look, this is still very much there for the taking. I think psychologically Josh is going to be in a better place, but if Arfan can find a break and dish here, he'll be on that same kind of plane. If it goes wrong for him here, let's say he goes in off or he goes dry, he's going to be sat stewing in the corner thinking, maybe it's just not my night. Those thoughts can start to enter your mind.
I mean, thankfully it's still early in the match for Arfan not to, have those thoughts at the moment. But
I think let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
But you won't. I mean, I don't think
that wasn't a very good split at all, was it? There was no explosion from the centre of the pack. So you've got the four balls that are still clumped together in the centre.
Yeah, that's the obvious problem. I think it has to be, again, first instinct was reds, but then you see the red over on the right-hand side, the far right, and that one doesn't really go anywhere. The only reason I say reds is because you've got the two adjacent to the left centre.
It's got a nice angle.
Yeah, you could use to break open that pack, but it has to be
yellows. He's going to break it off the yellows, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yep. That's absolutely perfect.
Delightful.
The only thing you would say is that maybe the black's still a little bit tied up, perhaps. I think it goes to left middle, bottom middle as we're looking on the screen. It possibly goes to where his finger is now, is that right-hand corner.
I wonder if he can find a way to leave the red that's far right as his last ball. Use that to get on the black.
No, he's on yellows, isn't he?
I meant yellow. I'm doing it now. He's bumped
that's
it
a really
anyway.
clever shot. I like that shot.
But all I was thinking is using the yellow that's the far right,
Right.
the one that's closest to the cushion as his last ball. Doesn't matter now.
I was just digging myself out from the previous frame. That was all. Sorry, I jumped all over that. Apologies.
I knew what I meant. I was the
And
only one. That's the problem.
I knew you knew what you meant, but I just decided to get myself out of trouble there. Sorry. Possibly the plant here, Nick. I think he's forced into it. I think yellow onto yellow. Distance between them, so it's not a gimme. Played it nicely.
So now he's moved the black into the open. The ball that he won't want to leave as his last ball to get on the black is the one that I mentioned, the one furthest right. That one closest to us now. He is going to leave that until the ball to get to black.
All of a sudden, I've become super jealous now because not only have I noticed that Arfan's got Daddy on the back of his shirt, but he's also got Arfan Dad on the collar on the back of his shirt.
Nice.
How cool is that? Nice flow to this clearance as well. He's not hung around, is he?
Yeah, he cued that well.
Do you, not trying to sort of, something I mentioned 2 frames back, but do you think it has sharpened the mind, that scrappy frame they've had?
Definitely.
Because they've both cleared since, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll see an entirely different complexion to the game now.
Yeah.
I think both will be quite comfortable in the place they are. 3 frames each. I still can't pick a winner.
No, I agree.
As always, sorry to harp on about the same things constantly, but please do like and share the stream. It's getting late into the evening on Saturday, and we've got a good number of viewers watching a big final.
And that was a massive break as well by Josh there. Cue ball jumping up in the air. Now, at first glance, probably reds, but
I don't think he's got an opener on yellows. Unless
possibly yellow to
the
middle.
yellow near the bulk line passes to middle, but I'm not sure it passes the red. It may.
I mean, he's got the obvious red to that's over the pocket at the moment, but then you still have the problem with the 2 reds at that he's nearest now. Is he going for the yellow or?
I think it must go because he's going for it. He's certainly queuing it.
I've given up trying to choose what colour they're going to go for, so I'll just wait for him to pop the first ball and take it from there.
The yellows are the preference. I mean, the black's obviously a problem if you do go for yellows as well.
Yeah, it's only available to probably the middle, isn't it, on the top corner, or both middles, to a degree. You see what is that? The one remaining Jason Owen game in the background? Is that Callum and Aaron Davis playing?
Yes, yeah. Well, there'll be one more game to catch up on from round 4, and that'll be Arfan Dad.
I'm pretty sure that I heard earlier on they're going to play that at 9 AM tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
which is fair enough. You can't expect them to play that game this evening.
That's Arfan against Ian Davenport.
Yeah, poor Ian's been waiting around all day.
I know.
Hours for that game, I think. So what we're thinking here, Nick, is he going to take the yellow to the middle, or?
If that yellow goes, I think yellows are the better ball, but I think, I just heard him say yellows. So obviously doesn't need to pot one, but he will be trying to pot this one to middle.
The thing is, if he misses it, there is a decent chance for Arfan to clear off on red, so probably just need to...
He's played
it off the red.
Wow. I mean,
that's not even like close to the middle pocket to play it off the red.
What's happening? That's an incredible shot.
Now that
I can only assume that it couldn't have potted then. It couldn't have gone past the red. So that's why he's played it.
and for the vision to see the shot that he saw was so good. That's nicely played. So he's played it that way, so he can play this one up the rail next. Sorry, up as the top right, and then the one on the rail next into the top left.
So which is
All of a sudden, this is turned into a decent chance.
which is the ball to get on the black?
Well, it's got to be the one that's obviously nearest the black right now, isn't it?
Yep.
And that's going to have to be left middle because you can't get it onto. Well, you can get it onto the bottom left, but you're not going to get on the black. So. It's all about the angle that he gets on that into the left hand centre to get on the black. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, the whole frame now is just centred around, as you say, the angle he leaves on the last yellow.
So this shot here, it's probably maybe drift past, sort of back towards the middle. Yeah.
Underhits it. Well,
No, he's okay.
he is okay.
The only trouble is that
Just came far enough.
he may be able to come round and play the black in the same pocket as the yellow. Because I don't think it goes, but it doesn't go bottom left, does it?
No.
The red's in the way.
No, obviously not bottom left, bottom right. He could maybe, I mean, he's got a big pocket top right.
I
Could
think
land.
I think he's too thin to hold for that, though.
I think you're right.
If he wasn't bridging over, he could play that. He could play it with check side and play the shot you've said. But because he's bridging over, then the check side becomes a swerve.
Yeah. I think that there's only one pocket that he can play it into, and that's the same
one
pocket.
Yeah. It's all about the pace here. This looks perfect. What a shot he's played there.
What a great
Brilliant
shot.
shot.
Tap on the leg from Arfan. Like, what can you say about that?
The thing is, as well, from playing these tables this weekend, sometimes it doesn't look it on screen, but they're so rapid.
But
So to judge the pace of those shots are so difficult, and yet he's does that to absolute perfection.
Scott, tell me, how does it go from what we were watching in the first 4 frames? I mean, they say the sublime to the ridiculous. This is the ridiculous to the sublime. How do we go from what we saw in those first 4 frames to what we've just witnessed in the last 3? Perfect pool in the last 3 frames.
Yeah, and I think it comes back to what you said earlier. It's such a big a big match for both players, and they were overthinking it early doors, whereas now they just thought, do you know what? It's a slugfest. Let's just go out there, may the best man win.
Yeah,
and we'll just give it a go.
Yeah, it was almost like a cloud lifted.
I've got a feeling that he's going to break and dish these as well. I don't know why. I've just got a sense. I think he'll absolutely launch these. Right, it wasn't launched, but he's got 2 balls down. Oh, that's a nasty little cluster around the black area.
Mm.
And neither colour set repeated
Do you
here,
know
are
what?
they?
I'm not even sure you'd want to go for this clearance with you.
Okay, so if you want to be Larry, then you can put the red into the, as we're looking now, to the bottom right corner, plough into the bunch.
Yeah.
You've still got the horrible red on the side cushion, but he's nominated yellows. Is he just bumping this near the pocket?
Yeah. Just putting it in front of the red. I mean, if you're Sean Chipperfield in that situation, you just launch into the pack and open them up and see how they come. But
if you're Sean Chipperfield, then you'd be clearing up by now. You'd be on the second last red.
Yeah.
I'll be talking to you, going, "What happened there?"
Yeah.
And you'd be like, "I don't know. I was."
Yeah.
I looked the other way for a second, but that's a good, sensible shot. He's.
Yeah. It was definitely one of those frames you play the percentages and take control.
I'm just wondering now if Josh will just decide to sort of hit that red. So the red that's next to the yellow at the top of the screen as we're looking on the right, maybe just glance off that, bump the yellow across a little bit and put the white long.
Has he not got a shot where he can double that red into the black, open up the pack and screw the cue all back to where it is now and leave nothing? Is that on? I don't know. I mean, I know it's got risk attached, but he could open up everything.
I think, that's what. The thing is, I think that could open up everything, as in everything for Arfan.
I know, but would he have an opener? That's the thing. If Josh can screw the ball back to somewhere around where it is now, I don't know. Probably too much risk attached.
Yeah, I think
I don't think either of the players are intending on going gung ho.
I think it's just a case of just trying to find a sort of. It's like how can I put this? A safety, in other words. So like a bit of a nothing shot, but just something that keeps him in the frame, which. He's pretty much done that there, isn't he?
Yep. Anything? Does the yellow at the bottom of the pack? Does that pass to middle? Again, they're all. I always find these difficult to judge on the screen because you've got the yellow just below the middle pocket.
I'm never sure. I guess it's slightly. Yeah. Well, he's got. Yes, it goes, but well, good luck with that.
He is looking at it, but yeah.
He might just play it because even if he misses it, it's not going to leave a great deal anyway, is it? No. So he might well play it just for the, for the sake of it. But let's be fair, he's absolutely nailed it. What is it by him? I mean, if he had an angle to go up into the reds and punt that yellow out, I think he might just bump this over the pocket.
It's just going to cover, yeah. It's not great.
It's okay for the time being, though. I mean, he left him a thin snick red to the middle or the long plant. It's not that appealing.
Yeah, but I think he would have wanted to cover that pocket. It just opens the door for Josh, for me, to do something. Either get something in front of that or just pop past it. If he has the cover across that pocket, then it just takes some options away later in the frame. But yeah, it's.
Let's go for this long plant. Toughy. Yeah.
And now.
Where the red's finish is not great either, is it? I mean, he's got a free shot here. He could possibly cut the yellow at the left hand side. It's a big pocket.
It is a big pocket.
Go into the little cluster.
Yeah, go into the cluster. I was just thinking the same myself.
Could be a good chance here for Arfan to take this frame. Oh, he's been unfortunate to stick to him like that. And if he's totally stuck, he might not be able to get through to the yellow.
That stinks. That's
Sorry
horrid.
About that. Sorry, that was that Harry last night. Yeah. Oh, you mean that shot? Yeah. I'm with you.
It's horrid, isn't it? I mean, even if he can get through to it, it's just a horrible shot. It's a horrible shot in open play, but when you're hampered as well.
Yeah, good luck with this one.
He does play these situations well, mind you.
Other circumstances, decent effort, but it was. To be fair, the reds aren't great, are they? I mean, he's got two reds on side rails. I think possibly Josh may well play the red that he's nearest now, just down over the corner, in or over, to try and block the yellow that's in the bottom left-hand area of the table. I don't think there's I'm saying this, but it doesn't look like there's a clearance opportunity here, the way the reds are situated at this precise moment.
The red he's closest to is horrible because it doesn't double. Well, I mean, it's in a horrible spot for doubling.
That's why I think just take your medicine and just play it down the rail, I think, and try and get the pocket. The only trouble is, if you don't get the pocket, then the frame's gone.
Yeah.
I think has he chosen that option? Looks that way. Well, that's in all day, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, that's a
cushion.
Great pot.
Very nice. Now, has he got the angle to put the red in the top right and go across with them on the rail?
I think he has, but if he hasn't, he's got the red to the right of the black, to the left of the black, which
he can screw back up
use to get a better angle. Yeah.
And it looks as if the red that's below the black now goes into the bottom right as well later on.
He's had to hit that one.
Yeah. I think he'd be disappointed with that. Not I'm not criticising him by any stretch, but it was such a great chance to get on that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's left with the bridging opportunity. Sorry, the bridging problems that Arfan had a moment ago. This is so tough. Well,
It's a great pot.
he's cued that side. And do you know what? He's left the angle to go back up the table
He
again.
has.
Such a good shot.
That really is. That's
Also, it's also difficult to get over the disappointment of the previous shot
yeah,
and just get down and nail a shot like that. So
incredible pot.
naturally, this is going up towards the yellow, so he's got to play a nice pace on this. Again, this is smelly because
This is
how's he going
horrid.
to land on the red?
I don't know. It's horrible. I mean,
If you jack it up, then it
it
makes the
it
pot so difficult.
if you play it with
The natural's coming to where he's pointing at
Yeah.
now, isn't it? But you've got
Yeah.
to land in that area.
as soon as you start trying to play this with left hand side or jack the cue up,
Yeah.
it increases the level of difficulty. If you can play this with a touch of right hand side to come down that side of the table, then it does help the pot as well.
I mean, for me, naturally, it looks like if he plays it with, like, say, topspin, I think it's going to settle over on the left-hand cushion behind the two yellows and the black. I don't see the line comes through the gap, so maybe you might have to check this a little bit just to come through that gap, but this is such a tough shot.
Oh, how good. How good. Oh, he deserves more than
He
that.
doesn't deserve to finish there, not with that line that he found.
He did
Wow.
not. Oh, yeah, that's just horrible. He did not deserve that.
No. Because
That was a. I mean, it was a hard pot.
the
but
pot,
to
the
find-
pot was so the pot was so difficult, but
I honestly, I thought it was going to
the
land
line
plumb,
looked good, didn't it?
and it just kept
Yeah.
running.
Yeah.
Thought it was going to finish perfect. Just kept running, and
Yes, it was difficult, but he he didn't deserve that. Once he played such a good shot, he didn't deserve that. And it's almost impossible to fluke this as well.
no.
Back rail, red in the middle.
Yeah.
Simple, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yep. Nudge to black, straight black in the middle,
Yeah.
straight after. Yep.
that easy.
Oh, that is harsh. And he has to go for the red. There isn't any deliberate foul available to him either. So good luck with this one.
I think this is a.
No, that. Whoa,
It's a
referee.
1 in 20.
Maybe that was just red first. Not sure. Get a replay of that one or not? I felt like it was red first, but we'll find out now. Ooh. Oh dear. I still don't know even the slow mo. Do you?
I think that's black.
Has it been called or? Well, I don't think it'll make a difference because
No,
I
I
think
don't think it will. But
Out, but
I think that was black.
great work by the team there to get the slow mo so quickly for us. Even though we still couldn't work it out the second time round.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's wholly irrelevant, but I'd love to see that again because it just.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I don't think anyone questioned it.
We couldn't hear the referee call anything, did we?
No.
Because we've got quite a good vantage point here to hear the refs and the players call what colours they want, can't we? But we didn't hear anything there at all.
No.
Maybe can we have a look at that? Maybe while we wait for the next frame to start, or we'll test the skills of their super slow mo. They got super slow mo.
They do.
I'm getting
Of course
daggers
they
now.
do. They've got everything.
Here we go. Right.
Watch this. Watch Paul's skills here. Oh,
Oh, it's black, isn't
Oh,
it?
it's
got
gone
Before
backwards.
it goes there, it's sure it's black, isn't it? Yeah, black first. Ooh,
Oh,
do you know what? Is that?
I genuinely don't know. I think that might be exactly the same time.
And I think I'm right in saying that in snooker that's a foul if it's simultaneous. However, in world
pool-
rules,
look at
it's
that.
not a foul.
So hard. There's a contact point there.
Wow.
Is that simultaneous, or was it? If anything, it may have actually been red first. You think it's black because the black moves further, but actually, I think it may have just grazed the red and then been the black. Look, I mean, it's
irrelevant now.
Total moot point.
But it's nice to look back on, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just glad to
and funny,
test your friend out on the corner there.
Yeah.
He's fuming at me.
It's funny though, isn't it? People watch on stream and they'll be like, "Oh, definite foul, this, that, and the." The referee had one chance to see that, and we've watched it 5 times in slow mo, and we still can't really tell.
If that went to VAR, then they'd still be looking at it now, wouldn't they?
So, one of the players has popped for a bathroom break. We're just going to take a quick breather. We'll be back with the action as soon as the players are ready.
Right, frame 9. Josh to bait. 4 frames apiece.
There's a confident referee for you. I just popped round the corner and asked him if he'd called a foul then, and he said no, it wasn't a foul. It was red first. That was a great call by him. Doggone, yeah, asking if in pool whether simultaneous is not a foul. You're absolutely right. It's not. It's simultaneous hit is legal. I think it's legal in all of the pool rule sets as well. Black ball in World Rules International. But as Scott mentioned, it simultaneous. Well, I don't know the rule, but he said he thinks it's a foul in snooker. Could well be. Not sure of the rule myself. Oh, Rosh saying that simultaneous hit in black ball is a foul. Is that right? I certainly couldn't argue the point. I'm not absolutely sure. I'm sure there's some referees watching who can tell us. That's a foul. That's a foul. It's not hit a cushion. Under hit it by some distance. I'm going to assume he went for the pot there and just came up way short. He wasn't trying to cover the pocket, was he? Can't imagine for a second he was. The clearance is there, so he just maybe underestimated it. Maybe he was worried that the cue ball. I don't know. Not quite sure what happened there. Just a misjudgment, perhaps. But regardless. He's going to take the red over the middle bag now, and then come back and take the one to the one that's far right, I think. May decide. No, I can't. I think he's going to leave the one just under his hand now as his last ball to get on black. I think that's right. Just still needs some care, doesn't it? Because the red that's nearest the blue spot really, well, it only goes to one pocket, possibly two. And now he's finished fairly straight. Well, it's making me look foolish here because surely that doesn't pass the yellow to bottom right. Well, it does. I'm struggling with the angles a little bit. It's so much easier when you can see the table itself and the table on screen, because I didn't think for the world that one passed the yellow, but it absolutely flew by. Another one, and Scott has rejoined. Missed that frame. Just went for a bathroom break, and
yeah, sorry about that.
Well, it was a crazy shot from. I mean, Arfan's played the yellow that you see on the screen there. The referee just picked up with his hand at the top. He's played that to the into that pocket, and landed there, and didn't hit a cushion. Landed kind of 4 inches short of the pocket.
Oh.
And the cue ball didn't hit a cushion either, and it was a foul, and Josh cleared from the foul. And I don't know if it was just a misjudgment, or I mean, it wasn't a miscue. I don't think it was a kick. I don't know what it was. Just a brain fart, maybe.
Did he deceleration on the shot?
Possibly. But now,
well, cue ball was dicing with death towards that middle there, wasn't it? And as it turns out, they've actually broken up lovely, haven't they?
Incredible. I mean,
oof.
you can take either. I mean, he's going to go reds, I'm sure, but you could absolutely take either.
Yeah, I think it's red because I think he'll play the red down the cushion now because he's on that straight away.
Yeah.
And then mop up all the reds in the top half of the table, and then what, the red over the bottom left and for the black in the corner. I mean,
The deciding factor for Reds is obviously the yellow that's in bulk, but if he was forced to get on it, it's not that difficult to get on into the left pocket. But Reds doesn't have such problem. They all kind of link as well.
yeah, I think he'll go red to the left middle next. Just bring the white ball out, centre table, and well, you can get a number of ways you can go.
Yeah. We know which one's going to be the last red to get onto the back.
Well, if it was me, it would be the yellow, the red behind the yellow. I'd have run out of position way before I get to that stage, but yeah. Yeah, I think it just drift the red that's just on the right by the balk line to the corner now. Perhaps
He'll want
the
to
other
take,
red's the same corner
he'll want
next.
to take the one above the yellow soon, because obviously it doesn't go to top right. So I think they just want to get that off the table.
I think it plays for a little trace of left-hand side perhaps here, just to sort of bring the white across a little bit. Yeah, you see the side take there?
Yeah.
He's not great on this, but I think he'll take the one that you mentioned next.
Yeah,
because he's on it now.
I think he's going to play that and just
Nestle on the yellow.
cannon into the back of the yellow.
This is no give me though. This shot. It's definitely missable. I mean, I don't expect him to miss it, but this is for me. This is the last chance of the clearance it can go wrong.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind what he said in the last frame as well, you know, he threw in a poor shot. So this is the key to the frame.
Nice.
Yep. A little bit of separation as well from the yellow and the red.
Yeah.
So he should be fine.
Yeah, pretty plain sailing.
Lots of area to land in with the cue ball here for the red. Yep.
This was a huge frame after the mistake in the last. He really needed to put that behind him and get back to 5 apiece. Would have been easy to lose focus in this one as well. And
I'm trying to think now, Nick. I don't think. I mean, I know I'm sort of preempting this to say that it's going to go to deciding frame, but I don't think we've had a deciding frame in the final this year on the tour, as far as I'm aware. I know Jack won heavily against
Jack won
Clint,
7-0 against Clint.
8-1.
Sorry, 8-1. He did.
8-1. Yeah.
Was it? Did he win one?
Yeah. I'm sure he won one. Yep.
Well, I'm only saying it because. No, it was 8-0 because
Was it 8-0?
Yeah, because they priced it at 100 to 1.
Right.
They priced it at 100 to 1 for 8-0, and
Okay.
someone had a pound on it.
Really? That was you, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
I looked at it. I almost had a fiver, but I wish I had. Imagine that. I don't know why. I just felt that Jack was. I mean, it just felt like he was going to. Now Clint was on a clearance. It should have been 8-1, and he missed, and Jack cleared the table for 8-0. It was definitely 8-0. Anyway, back to the original question. Declan won handy.
Yeah, in the first
I
tour
forget
he
the
did.
score, but it was like 8-2 or 8-3, I think, against.
Well, the semi-final.
That was Sean's story.
Yeah, watched the semi-final against Gareth Hibbett. That was superb standard. The pair of them were brilliant. But yeah, he won because that was the weekend that Sean was unlucky to lose both finals as well, wasn't it?
Yep. And my brains.
Yeah, me too.
Who won the other Blackpool event?
Well,
Paul, no?
Tom won the.
Tom, of course.
Yep. That wasn't. I don't think that was close either, was it?
No.
And the one in between.
That's it. This is the fourth.
Yes. Good. Thank you. Okay, so he's got a great chance on the yellows here. Now this yellow that's closest to the red and the black, if that goes into the bottom left-hand corner, it's fine. However, he has got it to middle, but he'll have to clear the yellow that's nearest the middle now. Okay, so we can see from that angle there that yellow. Pretty sure that doesn't pass into the corner, so he will have to play it into the middle at some point. Possibility here, he could drift down the table and leave that as a plant. I don't think he will, but it's definitely an option if he wanted to go that way.
That's just...
Finish a little bit awkward there, but he can flick this in with some side and hold the cue ball down this side of the table.
I wonder, the yellow you're mentioning that doesn't go to the middle, it obviously goes to the bottom right. I just wonder if he was...
I think the shot here possibly is to put this the yellow at the top of our screen into the top right hand corner as we're looking, play the cue ball across the right hand side, drift across, then play the yellow to the middle next.
Try and find the gap and play the one to the middle,
Yep.
You can see.
Is he led up some side here? Oh, he's gone the other way. Okay. Control that nicely. The only issue now is that probably just have to sort of stun through the gap of the two reds for the yellow to the middle, and then the yellow into the corner. Yep. I think this route's here now. Doesn't seem a great fan of it, does he?
I'm just wondering whether he can he stun through that gap?
I think he can. The overhead suggests that he could, but obviously, he's at the table. He can see it a lot better than we can. Ooh. Now, he's forced for me to play the yellow into the corner now.
I think he has to. Hold on the red.
Yes, he's got the easy to put to the middle, but transition to that yellow's not impossible because the red's the red that's on the balk line is blocking.
The problem with playing that shot, if he holds on the red, he could push it either behind the black or even into the pocket.
Yeah. But he's forced, isn't he?
I think he has to.
I mean, if he plays the one to the middle, that red's a massive target, isn't it, to run into?
Yeah.
And we're pretty certain that the yellow does not go into the bottom left corner as we can look on the screen now. We've seen that already, haven't we?
Yeah, I think he has to play this, but he has to really be worried about where that red's going to go.
John Parrott says this is smelly. Especially bridging over. Now, if you're bridging over left-handed, this is, although awkward, it's easier, but you can see, because he's right-handed, it's such an awkward shot to play.
Yeah. Because you have to lean across the table to get your body out of the way, don't you?
See, the referee's going to keep a close eye on this as well, because obviously he's going to be bridging close to the yellow once he hits the cue ball. Something I have noticed this year, which I like, there's no timekeeping in these finals. You have a referee, but it's not time kept. I think that's good.
Yep.
He's not liking this, is he? Because the trouble is, even if he gets the pot, he's still going to be leaving a funny angle on the yellow to middle anyway, isn't he?
I think he's really trying to dig down to try and avoid the red altogether, almost screw across the face of it.
I don't think he can get enough of the cue ball to do that, Nick.
I don't think he can, but he can kind of just narrow that angle just to flick it.
Okay, so we find out now. Yeah. If you were 7 foot tall, this shot would be fine. Okay, he's now looking at the other option to go around the angles, but for me that red's in the way of that. So Nick, the more you said a minute ago, the more chance I think this red might go in the corner if he puts this yellow. Okay, is he right? He's landed on it. There's the black. Does the black go?
Yeah. Oh,
Now, has he got any angle to try and stun down for the black into the bottom right corner? The black might go off the jaw very tight. If he's dead straight on this, he probably may have to just draw back for the double.
Yeah, he's got a bit of angle. Yeah.
Tiny bit.
Yep.
Trouble is, you've got to punch it.
You can make a bit more as well, and I think it's fine. I think you can just screw down and leave... yeah. Just
Nice.
just enough,
Yeah.
well, obviously.
Now, the thing is here...
Yeah,
is that
running into the red.
and because the red is touching the other red, it will plant into the corner, so
Yeah.
you have to give this... you have to get the cue up in the air, I think, and drag this. He can't play it natural because I think the red will drop in the corner, so he will have to jack the cue up in the air. And if you miss these, you miss them thick. Yeah. I hate to be right in that situation, but I've seen it so often. Yeah, so this is a great chance for Josh now. 2 visits.
So, just going back to the discussion we were having much earlier, a couple of frames ago, about the simultaneous contact. Someone said on the chat about simultaneous contact in black ball being a foul. I've just had a message from Viv. She says, not a foul. Not just not a foul, not in capitals. So, you've been told.
Well, I was making the comparison at the time to snooker, because I think in snooker it is a foul. Simultaneous.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I don't know. Could well be right.
Pretty sure this red creeps past the black, and in which case it does, then this is pretty much a standard finish for Josh. Yeah, there we go. It looks like the top red of the two goes to the middle.
I mean, ultimately, if Josh does polish these up, which I fully expect him to, it's still basically, after all the drama, still on serve.
Yeah,
6-5 up, and Arfan's going to be breaking in the next. Some game. As much as it's great to see the break and clear, it's fabulous to see some missed balls and a bit of drama as well, isn't it?
of course it is.
That's what we love to see in the game.
I mean, we're not wanting, the guys to miss or make mistakes, are we? But from a viewing point of view,
It's fabulous.
it's good to see. Yeah. So Josh is just 2 frames away from the title now.
I said it at 0-0. I can't call it. And here we are, having played 11 frames, and I still can't call it.
Just let everybody know that I'm sat next to Nick here in the booth, and he's actually got splinters where he's been sat on the fence since the start of the final. But
I did go for Josh.
and he was outnumbered in the comments box as well, because
Yeah.
it was 2-1 that we
Yeah.
favoured. Arfan. This break's
It's huge.
super crucial.
Finds a ball, finds 2.
And he's going to love those yellows.
Not only is he absolutely delightful on the yellows.
Reds aren't terrible, are they?
Well, yeah, but it's nice that they're all kind of clustered over here. So even if he does miss, it's.
I predict the black's going to go to the left middle or bottom middle as we're looking at the screen.
Yeah. It's a dot to dot. Take all of these at the top of the table and work his way down. The second last yellow is going to be to bottom left, the last one to bottom right.
I kind of feeling jealous. I never seem to have breaks like that. Oh. One day.
I get breaks like that, I just can't make the clearances.
End up covering a pocket after 3 shots.
Horrendous.
This is touching the cushion, so it should hug all the way across, which it has. So we go left middle, left corner, bottom right, left middle. Easy, isn't it?
I mean, he would have been absolutely delighted the way those yellows came out.
Yeah, and Josh would have known as well, wouldn't he, straight away
Yeah.
that this frame was gone. There we go. Simple as that. 6-6. Best of 3 for the title. Just touching on what you said earlier, Nick, it's nice that for the final to be played around the scheduled time as well on the Saturday evening.
Yeah.
There's more people around rather than, potentially playing in front of maybe a handful of people. There, decent crowd in here still watching the final.
As ever, just 3 frames left to play. Do please like and share the stream and help us promote. And a lot riding on this break from Josh Kane.
And he's drilled that as well.
Hits it flush.
Such a nice contact with the cue ball was so well hit there.
Black.
So, yeah, I was going to say,
Your
red.
eyes are drawn to the black.
I was thinking reds, and then all of a sudden I've just seen that red that's hidden behind the 2 yellows on the side. So you look reds here, they think amazing, and then you got that one red situated on here on its own, and that's difficult to land on. It's difficult to develop. So I think for me it's yellows.
I still fancy reds.
I think he'll drop the yellow in the bulk into the bottom left hand corner as we're looking now. And if you see, you've got 2 yellows that will both go to the left middle, and then you've got the yellow next to the black.
Yeah.
That goes in the corner. I think the yellows are definitely gettable from here.
He agrees with you.
That's because I get it right every time, Nick. I just think 2 factors. One, because that red that was awkward on the left, and the black.
And the black,
yeah. So I think he'll be putting the yellow into the top right, and maybe just drawing the cue ball back to over toward the left-hand side of the table. Ideally, one of those yellows to the middle. You just sort of drawing it back in between the gap of all the yellows, somewhere in the middle of all of them. Okay, so he's chosen to land on the yellow on the back here first. Actually, that's a nice route as well, because you can just drop this in and come off 2 cushions for the yellow into the same corner.
Yeah, the one next to the black.
Yeah, let's open that one up as well. He's under hit that, I think. No, he's okay. He's got the middle.
Do you ever play the yellow off the other yellow? I don't think so.
No. The only thing I'm thinking here is that if he plays the yellow into the middle pocket, he's on the natural path to run into the red.
Yeah.
And if he can, I think that's why he's going a different route. I think I don't think it was a nice way of playing it. Well, what a dream kiss that is.
Kiss.
That's what my missus says. That absolute dream kiss that is. He could play the plant. Doesn't need to, but he might want to play the plant now. Yeah. No, it's not necessary because the yellow passes the.
Yeah,
he's okay. The black will hold here now, won't it?
Yeah. Pretty straightforward. So, Josh Kane with 3 balls between him and the hill. And he's guaranteed one more break in the match as well.
I tell you what, that's not the nicest angle he's got there.
That's a lot.
It's automatically going into the red, isn't it?
Yeah, it was the kiss, wasn't it?
And the black's not finished in a nice area either after the kiss. I wouldn't be surprised you play the double in, Nick, just to sort of guarantee getting the white into a good area.
Very nice.
Yeah, I think that's probably the safest way to play it. He would have been so angry though if he'd not got the double though, wouldn't he, after
fuming
the way the balls were situated a few minutes ago. Yeah, nicely done.
7 frames to 6. He needs one more, and attention reverts back across to Arfan Dad.
It's going to the decider, Nick. It's absolutely going to the decider. It's going to the decider, and they're both going to have a shot on the black and the deciding frame. There you go. I've called it.
There's only one person in the room that doesn't want to see a deciding frame, and that's Josh Kane.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I say only one. There's probably a few Josh Kane fans as well, but even they'll secretly be thinking, come on, let's just have a decider.
We're quite sycophantic when it comes to that sort of thing, aren't we? As we all like to see a deciding frame. It's a similar thing when you go to these team events and you hear about there's a three frame playoff going off somewhere in the room and people sort of
everyone congregates.
Yeah, you want to see those things, and it's in a horrible way. You want to talk about, do you see that shot that guy missed in the deciding?
Yeah.
It's just the way we're built, I think.
So here we go.
You going for a break and clear on this one?
I don't know what to say anymore. I really don't. It's a huge moment for Arfan.
Here we go. Cue ball's gone. Ooh. Whoa. Okay.
Now then.
So it's reds. You put the red in the middle.
Yeah.
Break open the cannon into the red and yellow, and reds are there apart from a tricky black. So make it sound easy.
Simple as that. I mean,
well, it's definitely not yellows, is it? Let's be honest.
It's definitely reds, and the shot you mentioned, I think, has to be the opener. But it's cue ball in the jaws of the pocket.
I think the pot's a given. It's just how nice the cue ball comes out after the cannon is the issue. I'm just thinking if he pots the red thin, it's going to he's going to cannon the yellow thick, and it's going to bring the cue ball over to the left-hand side of the table. You might not have a shot on a red afterwards. That's the only thing I'm concerned for him here.
Just take another look at a different angle. Is there a shot
Well,
to play the red that is closest to the cue ball now, the one just to the right of the black? Play that into the middle off the red and try and break up everything off of that one. It gives you a bit more control of the cue ball.
but I'm also thinking as well, Nick, he doesn't have to even go for a pot because he's potted one of each on the break. Whatever he nominates, he's on. So he can just nominate reds and just leave Josh's yellow tied up where it is for the time being. He doesn't have to go gung-ho here if he doesn't want to. So in other words, as we're looking now, he's got the red that's sat on the balk line. He could just come off that and leave the white on the top cushion, bring that red into play. I mean, that yellow is... Yes, it will double in the corner, but into the middle, but it's very much a double kiss double. You know, it's very difficult for Josh to get that double in.
Yeah.
I think if this was like 1-0, if he was 1-0 down or 1-0 up, regardless, I think he would play the red in the middle and smash into it and see what happens.
Yeah,
But because he's
yeah.
7-6 down, I don't think he wants to just play a shot that will ultimately, you know, determine the result of the match.
Yeah. But sometimes, is it...
Fortune.
Well, maybe. Sometimes you want to go out with a roar. I don't know.
I think he's just going to... Well, he might go for the double here, but I think he might just be playing safe off of this.
Yeah.
I like that option. Look, if Josh pots this yellow into the bottom left-hand corner and then clears up, then fair play.
I don't think I could have resisted that myself.
I think Josh may well come off this yellow and just trickle him beyond the black. Because I think in world rules, people forget how important a snooker behind the black is, because a lot of the time in world rules, you don't get the reward when you snooker somebody, because what they might do then is just trickle up behind the ball you snookered them behind.
Yeah.
But they can't do that with a black, because they did the foul snooker in that scenario. Okay, that's yeah. He sees control of that pocket and
Clever shot.
clever cue ball.
Yeah.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but if you're Arfan, you're now thinking, should I have just gone for that red into the middle and play them all out?
I honestly don't think I could have resisted. I really don't. And now, I think we're going to see
You know what I think will happen
a
here?
long, drawn out.
No.
Do you not think so?
No, I think Josh is going to play the yellow onto the red, smash the red out there, and leave the white behind the black.
Yeah, but I still think it's going to be a fair old tactical frame, this one.
That's what he tried to do, but he got too much action, but no harm done. Josh is definitely favourite, isn't he, now that Arfan's got three reds on that right-hand side rail. You were saying it a long drawn-out frame, but Josh is where the balls are situated, Josh is such a huge favourite for them to win this frame and match. I mean, Arfan's effectively got to pull out 3 doubles on the reds. I can't see a deliberate foul shot here.
No, I'm trying to see something myself.
I mean, if Arfan, as we look at the screen now, if Arfan was on reds and that was a red on the top round corner, then he could possibly play the black down there, you know, onto that ball, but he can't because that's Josh's yellow. The breakout shot that we discussed at the start of the frame is not really on now because it's, you know, knocking into a ball that's going to do very little. Really struggling to see what he can do here from you know, a positive point of view for Arfan and his fans, really.
Yeah, I don't even know what his plan was when he potted that ball. I would think the last thing you want to be doing is taking balls off the table, but I just
think he wanted to get the cue ball into a better part of the table and then have a rethink there. I mean, yeah, on the
even
same
now
as
he's kind of a look on his face. What on earth do I do here? I mean, surely he has to try and do something while Josh has that one ball still tied up between the two reds. The
only thing I'm sort of thinking here is if this and it's a big if, this yellow that's closest to us now, if that was more over the pocket, he could the red onto it and take the white across the table and, you know, at least play a deliberate foul. But because it's away from the pocket a little bit, yeah, that's not bad actually.
Yeah.
Because the deliberate foul wasn't really a good option. But I think all Josh should do now is just bump out his bad red. His bad yellow that's by the middle. And say to Arfan, well, you know, there you go. So I'm pretty sure you can just double kiss that out of there. Doesn't need to, of course. I mean, you can pop one to the top right-hand corner if he wishes first and then bring it out. I mean, even go for the double. Just brings us out now, Nick, doesn't he?
I would think so, yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's doing nothing for him there, so he might as well. No danger. Don't think it doubles. I think it's a double kiss, but it doesn't really matter. Just bring it into open play. I'm not quite sure what he's looking at here, because where Arfan's red is next to the yellow, it's not as if Arfan can counter-attack anyway, is it, at the moment?
I just
dangerous.
I think he was playing the double off the red, and I think the reason being, he wants to put this to bed. I think he's in a hurry to pull the trigger and put it to bed.
But he doesn't need to.
He absolutely doesn't need to force the issue. But he's just worried about somehow getting drawn into some tactical battle. I'm not sure he's got the advantage, but in all these situations, you know, one shot can turn it around. I'm not quite sure what that shot is, but he just wants to get it done and dusted.
All Arfan can try and do in this scenario, in this frame, is to try and get a red over the corner, which he's attempted to do there. But the key is to get some movement on the 8 ball, because where it's landed right now, that's in Josh's favour. Whether the 8 ball's landed on that side of the table, I mean, if he can somehow, Arfan can somehow get the black down into the bottom right-hand corner somewhere. I mean, Josh has got a slim chance to go for game here. I mean, he's not going to, but just play this down the rail. Doesn't matter if he skims the black, does it? On the way through, even. I'll tell you what, he's left an opening there for Arfan to get the pocket, but even if he does, I think Josh will just pot the red anyway.
Pot it, yeah. I guess the only thing is, if Arfan can get 2 visits, the red that's on top of the yellow, it's not the most impossible red to get out. He can
off the back jaw,
exactly, off the back jaw and kick it out.
The thing is, I think ideally he'd like to play a deliberate foul where he's knocking Josh's yellow onto the red, you know, to drop the yellow in and leave the yellow next to the red or the black. Maybe he's going to pop this red and bring the black down, I don't know. Or is he going to just take the pocket? Yeah, I think Josh will just pot the red now.
I know, but I don't think he wants to be gung-ho and giving away two.
But look where the black is, because, I mean, not only does he have to get the red out that you've mentioned, but he's also got to somehow get a shot on the black as well.
Yeah, I know, but at the moment he's a firm favourite, and I don't know. You don't want to give Arfan the sniff.
But I do think Josh will want to get rid of that red, though. That's hindering his chances of finishing the frame, isn't it?
He'll want to, but I'm not convinced. As I say, you give Arfan two here, and it really is just one good shot to get that red out. It's not that difficult to get out.
I think he might just trickle in behind the red. No, he has jammed it in. Okay, so he has left in the red to the middle, and he can keep his two if he pots it. Now I'm wondering, the shot you mentioned a minute ago, has he got a direct line to come off the back cushion and bring that red out now?
Potentially. I mean, if you're going to play that shot, you'd want to ideally play it from closer than this, but it could be on.
Is he going to get a better chance to bring it out than
maybe not?
Angle-wise, I mean.
No, I don't.
Distance-wise,
Yeah.
I agree with you, but angle-wise, he's got the chance to do it now.
Maybe not.
Is he playing that shot? Or he's
As I say, I just think this was a risk for Josh. Arfan needs to play one good shot here. He's got red hanging over the pocket. I know what you're saying about the black. It's also tough, but
you know what, as well, Nick. If he catches this perfect, there's a chance he could float the red in the middle.
yeah.
And keep the two shots as well. Stranger things have happened. Is he coming down this way?
Gonna play.
Is he playing the cross double? Not quite sure about that shot.
I don't think.
I don't know if I'm missing something, but I don't know what he's gained out of that. He's obviously straight down though. He's obviously
Going to put
the yellow onto the red, onto the yellow. Okay.
That I mean, it's
not bad.
It's actually a very good shot because the yellow.
He can't come off the back cushion, I don't think, to bring it out, can he?
He can come off the back cushion, and it's clever putting the red there because the red acts as a guard as well. So that's.
I mean, Josh doesn't have to attack or go for this yellow down here first. He can go for the plant first of all on the two yellows in the top left-hand corner. Then drift the white down the table, ideally to the bottom cushion. Bring that yellow into play, and he's still going to leave one yellow up here as well at the same time. Let's see if he goes that route. So he drops the plant. No, he didn't want that kiss. He's okay. I think he can still cut that in, I think.
As you say, if you can get to...
Oof.
If you can get...
That's not great, is it?
No.
Smelly.
If you can get to bottom cushion, then that yellow's much easier to get out, but you just can't get down there, can you? Not from here.
Not from this. I mean, both yellows...
Has to carry...
Both yellows will cut in, but the cue ball's very, very errant, isn't it, on this? Also being a little bit awkward being left-handed as well, because he's going to be reaching over the three balls in the bottom right part of the table. Okay, he was definitely trying to go for the cut. Okay. Yeah. It's like he decided to keep the two, but there's no thought of the cue ball, is there?
I was going to say the cue ball's going to be running. He's going to be lucky to land on anything, and he hasn't.
And now all of a sudden the breakout shot off the back cushion is tight. Oof.
Oh yeah, that's horrible.
It's one of those that sometimes even if you come off the back cushion and flick the yellow, you probably catch it so thin that you might end up going on the table and knocking the red in the middle. You know, it's not great. He might even look at something daft like going for the cocked out on the yellow. Yeah, he decided to cut his losses here.
Second visit.
I think we've got a new favourite now, Nick, in this frame.
Does he screw him behind the black?
It's not a bad shout because of what I said to you before. It's the one DF that the opponent can't just trickle up behind the black. So it didn't feel like that was a shot that he was looking at though to play.
No.
But I'm still lost to see what the shot was. I mean, is he looking at coming off? Okay, so this is the shot. He's looking at coming off left-hand side cushion, right-hand side cushion, right-hand side cushion, off the bottom cushion to nudge the red to leave the back double on the yellow. That's what he's just lined up with his cue there. Perhaps not. Do you know what? That's not bad because the black still needs to be made, isn't it? Maybe that's why he's played it. Get it out and just said to Arfan, well, there you go, you're 7-6 down. You're the guy that's got to get the black, not me. Have you got a shot here to develop it?
Yeah. It certainly does.
Oh, and he's absolutely nailed
What
that.
a shot.
Wow.
I mean, you've got to say, Arfan's played a blinder there because
shot, yeah.
in play, he was forlorn.
He was well behind them, wasn't
Yeah.
I reckon it's going to decider. My prediction.
You could be right, and a decider it is. Well, we said we thought it would be a close game, and it very much is. Josh Kane is going to have the advantage. He steps out of the arena for a quick bathroom break. When he comes back, it's going to be his break. The pressure will be firmly on that break. But currently, the game is in his hands. Can he keep it in his hands? Can he get across the line? Stick with us. We'll be back with the action as soon as the players are ready. So over 150 players came here this weekend. It all comes down to this: 2 men in one arena, playing one frame of pool to decide who will be the winner of this main event, lift the trophy and pick up the cheque for £5,000. Josh Kane has the break. The cue ball is tracked straight in off. His head's in his hands, and you can see why.
Yeah.
Look at this table. The yellows, well...
Yeah, I think it's yellows as well, Nick, what you're saying. Oh.
I mean, it's just horrible. You play
Well,
a whole weekend.
Well, it's not just that. It's all the thousands and thousands of breaks that you do, and then the last time you went to go in it, you know, for the cue ball, and it went straight enough as well. It wasn't knocked in by something else. Unluckily, it just
horrible.
Drifted its way there. But
you play well all weekend. You fight and battle to get to this point, and I mean, it's not over yet. But just remembering in these rules, it is only one visit from the break, so Arfan still has the pressure on him, albeit the yellows look okay. They're certainly not a gimme. I mean, you could probably make a case for reds as well, but
I think it's yellows, to be honest. Yeah. I think he would possibly pots the one in bulk. No, he's chosen reds. Okay.
After all of that, I think that's personal choice. I mean, I honestly think different players will see that differently. I don't think there's particularly.
I think he's overrun
right
that
one
a little bit. I think he wanted to. Yes, he can still play it, but I think he wanted to play them on the right hand cushion, on the right hand rail next, and. Yes, he's still on it, but the angle may be forced to take the red to left middle first. Pretty sure he's got a line through to that red. Because if he takes that to... Okay, so he's taking this one now. It's the first one that's missable. That's missed, isn't it?
Ooh. Caught the rail on the way through.
But I tell you what he has done. Landed absolutely perfect, hasn't he?
Yeah.
For a choice.
Yeah.
Choice of 3 out of the 4 remaining. Probably the one that he's nearest to, or maybe
I would think so. Yeah.
If he was dead straight on them on the top left, I think he'd take that next. But as we saw that angle there, he's slightly off, being dead straight on that one. I think you've got to fancy Arfan to take these out from here, haven't you? I think the reason he won't is because of the situation. I think, to be honest, I think any other time these have gone.
Just about holding the nerve.
Still great though that we've come to the end of the main event and we got to a 15th and final frame, Nick.
Yeah, very befitting.
Oh dear.
This looked like it was formality a moment ago when he had a choice of 3, but
have you not found that there's been a few frames like this though, isn't there, in the final, where just little flicks here and there have just made it a little... I'm not saying they haven't got them, because they have got them, haven't they? But they've just made it a little bit more tricky for themselves, and sure, that's just down to the occasion. It's got to be.
Could there be a twist in the tail?
So he pots the red and comes across through the gap of all the balls to leave the white on the right hand side of the table. Again, it's just not quite so.
God. Well, I think he has to play the one to middle and then come off the top cushion, back down the.
Can he hold? Can he hold? So could he put the red that's below the black into the bottom corners we're looking now? Can he hold that one instead?
Possibly.
I think he might prefer that route because.
Yeah, maybe.
Less room. Sorry, less room. Less distance to go with the cue ball if he can hold.
It is, but the only issue for me is if you hold, then even if you're playing the last red from the bulk line, how do you get on the black? I mean, you don't want to be playing it from up there because I don't. For me, this is red to middle and play cue ball up and down the table. If you land somewhere over by that right hand middle pocket, I think the frame's there at your mercy. But it's just one big shot. I don't know.
It's really awkward as well because the black doesn't go to the left middle, does it? It doesn't go to the.
I think you have to, and that's what I mean. I think you have to try and get closer.
I think he's going to play the shot that I said, but I don't think he likes it. He's not queuing this up to play it just yet. He's just still looking. I think it's quite a lot of people. Quite a lot of people would have looked at this and gone, "Well, why have you not just plotted that and done this by now?" But it's so fiddly. The positional side of this shot is so fiddly, isn't it, to land nice?
I shall ask it again.
Here we go. Okay, so he's taking the one to the middle. I mean, he's got a nice area to land in, but it's all about the angle that he lands on with the red. I'll tell you what, he's played that pretty well, I'd say. He can top this through now and play the black into the top corner or possibly the right middle, and it's his choice. Or, actually, he could actually screw across off the cushion and back out for the black into the bottom right.
I think he just tops it.
You top it and leave yourself a shot, don't you?
I think so.
In this situation, at 7 each.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to get the cue ball running around when the nerves are playing up. Oh, you just saw him puff his cheeks there. Definitely feeling it.
What's his angle like? Is he topping it through? Yeah, he is topping it through. I think now he's thinking, how brave do I be? Do I top it through to leave it for the middle, or do I just top it through to leave it long for the corner?
He's definitely second guessing him. Definitely second guessing himself. This is.
So it's gone very quiet in the room, so we're talking a lot quieter now.
Oh.
Okay, so he's.
How do you fancy this?
We're just talking really quiet at the moment because it's gone deadly silent in the arena, and we're quite close to the table. So
yeah, you can hear a pin drop.
So he's got the half ball cut into the top corner now. Just wish him good luck. Tough shot.
Has he got it? No.
What's he left? Has he left?
Wow.
Has he left the plants in the middle? I think
He has, yeah. He's left the.
Oh dear.
Well, we did say, would there be a twist in the tail? Will they? Is Kane gonna now get through these? Yeah, can he hold his nerve? The spotlight turns to him. Wow. Well, it had to have a little more drama, didn't it? It just had to.
Just had the feel. That's all. Oh, wow.
I can't believe that.
Don't think you need to say anything there, really.
I can't believe that.
Just seems to, I don't know, just seemed to put a quick one on that shot, didn't he? But
Yeah.
I'm not criticising him by any means. Blimey, it's 7-all in the final, but
Cue ball's running here, mind.
no, he's absolutely fine. He's got loads of traffic to stop the cue ball. It's just about potting the black.
It's not the traffic I'm worried about. It's knocking one of the balls in the middle pocket.
It's fine.
Oh, you can see the relief from Arfan watching that. Wow, what a final. What a final. That was absolutely incredible. And Arfan Dad.
Once Arfan misses the black, he probably thinks he's never getting a chance to pot it again, is he?
I honestly, I never, not for one moment during that match was I confident about either player winning that match.
No.
It was just, I mean, even the twist in the tail that Josh got to go in the last frame, and well, in some ways he'll be walking away from the table even more disappointed. If Arfan had cleared the table after the in-off, Josh would have just said, oh well, you know, I went in-off and that's cost me the match. But actually, the fact he got back to the table, you can see it, his shoulders are slumped, and he'll be absolutely mortified. Arfan Dad, well, where there's a winner, there has to be a loser.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, we've watched this final and it's been, you know, to and fro and back and forth, but you don't get to the final, you don't win the tournament without playing brilliantly and coming through, you know, lots of rounds and lots of tough matches on the way to get there. So, you know, every credit to both players for even reaching the final, and congratulations to Arfan really on. I think maybe getting the reward that he's earned this year. Obviously, you know, he's lost 2 finals earlier in the year, you know, on the IPA, and that's tough. That's tough to take.
It is,
isn't it?
And I think from Josh's perspective, when he reflects, he'll reflect on a sterling performance over this weekend. But it is Arfan Dad who takes the spoils home. We're going to go and catch him for an interview in a minute. Scott, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It really has. Thanks very much for your company throughout the day. So we're going to go down and speak to the winner and have the trophy presentation. Thanks all for joining us, and we'll see you down in the interview room in just a couple of moments. Often, all I've done is sit and watch that game, and I'm out of breath. There was no point during that match could I call a winner, and even down to that last frame, it was on the edge. Just give us your initial thoughts.
To be honest with you, I'm kind of lost for words for a change. I think so. You know, God was looking down on me there, especially in that last frame. I've missed a pretty. It was a tough black. It was blind into a blind pocket, but I didn't really play the best of positional shots to get her on it. But yeah, I've just got to thank God for giving me that victory, because you know that's the only reason it happened.
It was amazing. I mean, let's just go back to the start of the match. It started horribly for both of you. The first 4 frames were just ugly. I think Josh missed a ball in all 4 of the first 4 frames, missed 3 balls in one of the frames. But suddenly you find yourself at 2 frames each. You must have been thinking, how am I not ahead?
Yeah, well, I think 2-all, because you've described it like that, it was probably the fair result after those 4 frames. I think then we kind of settled down a little bit in the middle. You know, it took
immediately from there, you both just hit a different stride, and you both started playing really well. I think there was followed then by 3 breaking dishes. So just that contrast in the match.
Yeah, my break really helped me out there, because you know, if I was struggling with a break like I have been doing in some matches in the tournament, I wouldn't have had a chance in that final. So yeah, everything just came together, and that last frame there is just It's just crazy, wasn't it?
Brilliant drama.
Yeah,
Brilliant
it was,
drama.
yeah.
I think everyone enjoyed watching that. We
Yeah.
had a lot of viewers watching that, and
The room was all silent. So
I
I'm
know,
thinking- I
it's-
was on the black and thinking I could do with a bit of noise again. So it's just this. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
After a couple of times this year, you've been in finals. You just missed out. You've been the nearly man.
Yeah.
What does it mean now to get across the line?
No, honestly, I'm over the moon because that would have been 3 like major finals I would have lost in a row, and it sometimes it can like linger on too long, and
Yeah.
next time in the final, it could be playing on my mind. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's good to get that monkey off the back,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna look forward now, and I don't really need to worry about if I get to the final, I can relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in if you keep knocking on the door, sooner
Yeah.
or later it's going to open.
Yeah.
And today it really did open for you.
Yeah, no.
Arfan, Neil Toms,
Thank you.
let's get the gaffer in to present the trophy.
Cheers. Shall I put this down?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to stand here.
Neil's gonna
fine.
turn around. There we go. We can see you
No,
now.
that's all right, that's all right, yeah.
Neil, just give us your thoughts on that final. What a game!
Well, I'll tell you what. Even I was had a heart in my mouth when everyone went silent because you could feel the tension building.
Yeah.
You must have thought when you missed that, that's it.
Yeah.
I know I was a bit fortunate, obviously. Josh,
Yeah. I think he said he played the plant a little bit hard.
if he plays a bit
I was
softer,
I was
think
just
he
so
might-
in the moment, so disappointed that the black rattled, and I didn't really look at where the white was, and then he was already down on the shot. I couldn't apologise, so I said sorry to him
I
after.
said, yeah. Yeah, it's just you think to yourself, that's it, you've missed
Yeah,
your chance,
yeah.
and probably flashing back all the finals that you've
That's
been in.
it. That's exactly what I was
But
doing.
no, it's fantastic, mate. You've
Yeah.
come through some great matches,
Yeah.
it's a tough field, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know
it
what I
is.
mean?
Yeah, my first match was against Neil Rayburn. So
Again,
Yeah.
obviously the tables and the setup and
Yeah.
everything. It's I've been here 3 years ago,
yeah.
and I forgot how good this
No,
venue
honestly,
was.
this is you've done an unbelievable job, Neil.
We've got a great team.
we
great
couldn't
team,
ask
mate.
for better playing conditions. Tables are spot
Yeah.
on, the cloth, everything.
Just very fortunate that we've got such a good
Yeah.
bunch of players. All support.
You
Nick,
guys have got
Stevie.
plenty of years' experience, and you're a
Yeah.
pool player yourself, so you know what the players want. So, no,
Legend
well
Mike
done.
Perkins.
You're still going. I can't believe it. Unbelievably.
These guys are going to reminisce for ages, and we'll leave them to do so. But for today, Arfan Dad, he's already got the trophy in his hand. Your winner of the main event,
Cheers.
Arfan Dad. Well played.
Cheers.
Brilliant. Well done.
Cheers, man.
Well, that brings us to a conclusion of today's action. We'll be back with the action again tomorrow morning with the last 16 of the Jason Owen Open. But for today, Arfan takes the spoils home, and a nice payday of £5,000 to go along with that trophy. I'm sure he'll have plans for that money. What a great event, and congratulations to Arfan again. We'll see you again back with the action tomorrow morning. Good night for now.